One guy who's not going to the Worlds is Mitch Marner. I don't think that shocks anyone considering he's an RFA. I'm going to paraphrase what you said on First Up with Landsberg and Dave Feschuk, and correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong, but essentially you said, listen, whether it's 10 and 10.5 or 11.5, this team, as in the Toronto Maple Leafs, are losing someone that most fans are going to love. Is that not correct? Like, we're splitting hairs here, aren't we not?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot on the various programs on TSN 1050 and SportsCenter for that matter, about how difficult it's going to be for any team to win with multiple $10 million players. I mean, it's never happened. It's just never happened. And the salary cap is going to go up. I know the Maple Leafs and all cap teams are hoping that it elevates to upwards of $84 million, but still, I mean, you can't continue to spend beyond the cap. And as Gord so eloquently walked us through, I think it was last Thursday, Gord, just the impact of certain other elements of the Toronto Maple Leafs cap situation, like Nathan Horton for a day, and all of those things. Like, it's not just
you start with Kessel.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of little mechanisms and reasons why the Toronto Maple Leafs salary cap isn't going to be an $84 million cap. Mm-hmm. And that has more to do with the players that aren't playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So when you add Austin Matthews 11.6, and John Tavares at the 11 million flat, and Mitch Marner getting north of 10.5 or above $11 million, it's just common sense that players are likely going to go out. What we don't know is who that is, and I know a lot of people consider it sport to speculate on: is it Nylander, is it Calgary, is it Kapanen, is it Andreas Janssen, is it this guy, is it that guy? I mean, we don't know. We can speculate, but the truth is we don't know.
Well, in our poll right now at Leafs Lunch 1050 names a lot of those guys. Which player is most likely not to be a Maple Leaf next year? William Nylander, one of Kapanen, Janssen, Marleau, and Kadri. And I'm guessing your answer is, well, there might be a few of those guys who are a Maple Leaf next year.
Yeah. Well, and look, the Marleau is more complicated than the others. Mm-hmm. He's got 1 year remaining at 6.25, and he also has the no-move clause. So if Patrick Marleau wants to play out his contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's going to play out his contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And who can be critical of that? I mean, he's got a young family. I mean, there's lots of reasons why he wanted the 3-year deal, wanted the contract protection, and normally that contract protection comes into play in the third year, especially when the player is 39 years old. So I think Marlowe's a bit of a long shot that he doesn't stay with the Maple Leafs next year for those reasons. Beyond that, man, how about it? I mean, who wouldn't want Nazem Kadri from a trade perspective?
Yeah, and a contract.
What's that?
And a contract, too.
Yeah,
like the cap hit.
And Nylander gets more complicated, because of the cap hit at just under $7 million. But I'm surprised in this market, nobody is talking about the amount of money that William Nylander will have made in, 5-6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just under, $20.5 million, $20.3 million, and you're just going to push him out the door because you need the cap space. And the team that gets him is getting, in my opinion, a high-quality player at an affordable rate because the Toronto Maple Leafs just chewed on $20+ million in less than one calendar year.
Well, fortunately, the Leafs are maybe one of the few organizations that could actually handle doing something like that.
Yeah.